Hi, welcome to Bruce's Garage. I'm Bruce and this is my garage. I just returned from 2 days in Georgia where I was able to attend a preview of Koch Chemie's new Koch Chemie Experience 2-day detailer training. This is going to be available to detailers starting in July, and I'm going to tell you all about the training. So come on in and let's have some fun. All right, I'm super excited to tell you all about the training, but first a quick disclaimer. I've always said I would be completely transparent with any sponsorship, whether I get a free product or anything. In this case, Koch Chemie did pay for my travel, lodging, and meals while I was in Georgia attending the preview of their 2-day Koch Chemie Experience training. The only thing they asked for in return was that I give them an honest perspective of what I thought of the training, what was good, and what they could do better. That was the only expectation. And so again, I wanted to be completely transparent and clear with all of you. So there it is. Now let's get into what you can expect if you attend this training starting in July. All right, so let me give you a little bit of background on what Koch Chemie USA is trying to do with the detailer training. This was a preview of their first of 3 options, 3 different programs they're going to have in the future for detailer training. So this first class, called the Koch Chemie Experience, is an introduction into all of their chemicals, all their products, their tools, and I think what was really cool is their techniques and processes. So it's one thing to learn about the chemicals, and that's very important to understand the products you're using, but it's another to understand the process and the way that Germans approach detailing and car washing and how they do it and what tools they use. And so Koch Chemie has a very structured process that quite honestly, many of us probably already apply, but there were definitely some things that I learned. And all 3 classes, of course, are going to have a combination of classroom and practical training. So you're not sitting in a classroom for 2 days, but this first session is that introductory. And it goes everything from, again, the chemicals all the way through polishing, and you get to do some practice. And I'll show you some of that in a little bit more detail. Their second kind of set of classes is going to go more into detail around polishing and ceramic coatings, wet sanding. So you'll get more detail. And the last program that they'll be offering is the master class, which I think that's probably going to be around a 4-day class. And that's going to be, I know they mentioned at least 2 days with color lock on leather care, leather repair, mixing colors. So you can see that they've got 3 separate programs planned, although right now only one is being launched, the first one. In fact, I talked to Andrew, their CEO, and Andrew really said, he said, look, I've given the team really one piece of clear direction about this training. I want it to be a world-class training experience. So that should give you, that statement, put a new lens for me. So I looked at it is this a world-class training experience? Keep in mind, this is their first time. This was a preview. So yes, there's things they're working on. And in fact, Diego Bressler, who's their lead technical trainer, and Diego's fantastic. He's a Navy veteran. He has a lot of experience, not only in detailing, but beyond that. And that carries over into everything that he does, including his military experience. What was really cool for me was not just hearing from Diego, but I got to hear from so many different members of the Koch Chemie team. They were all super friendly, super helpful, and extremely knowledgeable. Now I got to tell you about the training venue because it's pretty darn cool. Look it up online, Atlanta Motorsports Park. This is a motorsports country club, and it's really a cool place to host this training. First of all, it's big. So there's plenty of room, not only for the classroom portion of the program, but when you get out and you start pre-washing cars, you start working on wheels, foaming, washing, polishing. There was plenty of room, very comfortable space, great catering. The whole process was just really well done. And the Motorsports Park is just a great venue, I think, to be focusing and talking about cars. Now, you get a bunch of things with the training, and I'm going to show you some of the swag. The first thing that I really liked was, I had training material that I can take away. And even the stuff that you can find online, because I found a lot of training material or a lot of educational material about their products online. That's how I learned before I attended the training. You get more from being there. Not only do you get a whole training book, but you get the expertise, you get the ability to ask questions. And when you get an answer, it's not just from one person's perspective, because you have other Koch Chemie experts present, and they can give you their perspective, especially when it comes to dilutions. I think dilutions are often one of the confusing things. Well, do I use this at a 1 to 5? It says 1 to 5 to 1 to 30. So I know that if it's something really bad, I'm going to go to 1 to 5, and if it's not so bad, I can go to 1 to 30. But give me some practical tips on maybe how I might do that. How do I make that decision? What do you suggest? What has your experience shown you? And I think that's what's really cool, because you get to hear different ways of doing things, but you also get the recipe book. So the recipe book, in my mind, is the process and what is recommended. But again, there's a range of dilutions. Sometimes there's more than one chemical you can use for a problem. But to understand how they work differently, or what I really learned, and this was something totally new for me, and maybe I should have known it, and maybe all of you do, but was how you work with multiple chemicals. So if I'm working with an alkaline product, what do I follow that up with? And is it important to follow it up with something? How do I neutralize that alkalinity or reduce its alkalinity as I progress in cleaning the vehicle? So I never really thought about the combination of pH neutral products with alkaline products, alkaline with acidic products, how those things work together, not necessarily mixed, but one following the other. So remember, in the class, you not only get to learn from the instructor and the Koch Chemie experts, you get to learn from each other. So as you have other detailers in the training, you all are exchanging ideas and you get to learn from each other. Whether it's about your pricing structure, whether it's about how you detail, the chemicals you use, when do you use them, how do you schedule, what app do you use, whatever. My point being that you learn from each other as well as the instructors. Now, the class has a combination of in-classroom as well as practical. In the classroom, you're going to learn the basics. You're going to learn dilutions. You're going to learn pH. You're going to learn about each of the products, recommended dilutions, how they're used, the process, where should I start, how would I neutralize other chemicals, when do I use combinations of chemicals, do I use active foam or do I use Green Star and gentle snow foam? What are the benefits? What are the risks? What's the cost? You learn a ton of stuff on that. And so then you also go out and you apply it. So there's a great combination so you don't get bored just sitting in the classroom. You get to go out and then actually pull the Krenzla out and start power washing, using MSN for pre-wash, polishing on paint panels, using a rotary, using a DA, using a forced action polisher, trying different pads, different combinations of polishers. The list goes on, what you get to do while you're there. There's nothing like going to a good training class, but you got to get some swag, right? So your swag may be different, who knows, but you do get swag. And I got one piece of advice on the swag. If you get this, which you may at first I thought this was hand sanitizer. I thought, okay, cool. It's sunscreen. And my advice, wear the sunscreen. I got burnt up bad being outside. Wear the sunscreen. If you're stupid like me and don't wear the sunscreen, be smart and wear the hat they give you. I didn't do that either. You get stickers, you get keychains, you get an apron. There was all sorts of different things. Again, I don't know what their plan is in the future on maybe very different things, but I'm confident you'll get some branded merchandise, to share, and we all love some good free stuff, right? Their first class that they're going to be offering, the first series, is in July. I believe it's July 15th and 16th. I will put a link to sign up for the training or to express your interest in the description below. I will also have it appear on the screen so that you know that you can reach out. And if you're interested, let them know you're interested and you can get some more information. I think it'd be well worth your time, especially because it's such a great group of people who are sincerely committed to creating products, services, and support to back up that excellence for experts. So I hope you appreciated hearing a bit more about this new training. I am grateful for being able to attend and share it with you. So I appreciate you watching, appreciate a thumbs up, and reach out to Koch Chemie if you want to learn more about this training experience. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks for listening today. Go out and have some fun detailing.